Live.
Kind of, sort of. It did it. I'm always shocked when it goes live, especially that the internet has been so crappy around here today.
Well, we break the internet. So
what's that?
We break the internet when we go on.
Apparently, we break it. We break all the algorithms. We get shadow banned. I don't get it.
I just uploaded Angela, Parisian Farm Girl, to Rumble, and everything stopped downloading, and she's already ahead of us in the show.
Well, obviously
7 minutes.
Well, obviously it's us. It must be our voices. I don't know. Well, but it's 7 o'clock, so guess what time it is?
Who the hell cares?
That's a liberal.
It's like saying, would you rather have wine or water?
Wine, a half inch means a lot sometimes.
Nobody likes to eat crow. Right.
Now I'm starving.
How much is the economy today? It's that much.
This pumpkin latte sucks, and I want to speak to your manager.
Objection, hearsay. Objection, leading. Objection, hearsay.
Where is that woman when Biden speaks?
Out of here. His name is pronounced Joni. And that's the end of it.
That always cracks me up.
It's like my porn watching myself.
Bobby is with us. Hiya, Bobby. I'm watching you on Rumble, and I have you on my phone so I can message you guys. You're terrific. Thanks, Bobby. So you do comment on Rumble. I can see it. I figured out the way. I think I could just look at my phone, and I could see your comments on Rumble because I've got it playing on Rumble. So
can you just talk to our production team? Maybe they can combine everything.
I'm talking to our production team. We're trying to launch on YouTube too, so that we can have only tens and tens of viewers on YouTube. Hi, Lucille. The OG is with us. How are you, sweetheart? How was everybody's Thanksgiving?
Oh, that's right.
Okay. The Rumble broadcast is a little bit behind our actual.
What else is new?
Yeah, well, that's true.
If you're going to start pointing out all the imperfections, we're going to be here all night, Bobby.
And Grandma Joe is with us. Everybody say hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
So how was everybody's Thanksgiving? What did you do? How did it go? How was yours, Jen?
It's nice. We went out with my son. He did the Irish goodbye.
Oh, really?
Somebody told him he could. He looked like a bad mother. Just left.
Yeah, he was just gone.
He had it. He's like, I'm over this. And everyone else just
with him.
Watched football. What?
Did he take any of the leftovers with him? No. He just walked out.
Just literally walked out without saying goodbye to me.
It could have been worse. He could have taken the turkey. So, hey, Jen, this is our 47th episode, and we still haven't broken 100 viewers.
Biden has better ratings than we do.
Oh, yeah. So here's the thing. For our 50th episode, I want to know what you guys want to see for our 50th episode.
Us not on. They're going to take a break.
Well, listen, we have tens and tens of viewers. We have to entertain them at least. We'll consider ourselves the Misfit Club. And I think it's a pretty cool club. So, I mean, you could do worse on a Tuesday night. I mean, what the hell else do you have to do? Then watch us or hang out with us. But really, put it in your comments. Let us know what you want us to do. Okay, the professor is with us. The Anti-Terrorism Clarification Act of 2018, passed by Congress and signed into law by Trump on October 3rd, 2018, came into force in February 2019 and allows Americans to sue in U.S. courts those receiving U.S. foreign aid over alleged complicity in acts of war.
That's what you
So
did over Thanksgiving, Peter?
Peter was researching over Thanksgiving. Bobby, Thanksgiving was fine. Made dinner here at the apartment complex for those who didn't have family to go to visit to have dinner. That is fantastic. I love that. Now, yeah, Bobby gets bells. Bobby gets bells. Grandma Joe, where is my video? Oh, the Grandma Joe video. I forgot. The Scott towel. I didn't download it. You know what? We're going to save that for the 50th episode. We're going to have Scott paper towel versus handkerchief. I knew I forgot to do something today. Ugh. Well, at any rate, tonight's show's called Eruption. Eruption. Have you seen the news, Jen? Did you see everything erupting all over the place?
The volcano.
That
I saw. Did you see the 700 houses that got melted in the? Who the hell buys a house next to a volcano?
Well, it's Hawaii, so I guess people.
It was literally right next to the volcano.
Well, they must have thought it wasn't going to. I don't know.
Well, it's more dangerous to buy a house here, so.
It's the same people that put shots in their babies' bodies. I don't know. I mean, they're living in Hawaii, so they're happy about the volcano. Right? Biden exited with resolution, and they are calling Trump an anti-Semite. Yeah, I got you, Professor. You're welcome, Bobby. And Cynthia's with us. Hi, Cynthia. Jen. Cynthia is a artist. She's a fantastic artist. She also likes old furniture and she likes refinishing it, and she likes shopping in flea markets like I do. So I don't know. I'm going to be spending a lot more time down south.
Thanks, Cynthia.
I've got a buddy now to go do this stuff with. It's going to be good.
I can replace.
Well, anyway, in addition to the eruption of the volcano in Hawaii, a lot of things have been erupting all over the world. Has everybody seen the counting in Maricopa County?
It's still going on.
Well, it actually finally finished, but there are a couple of counties that are refusing to certify. And I'm going to show you why. And this is the reason that the Fauci Award, I'm seeing my internet's blinking. The Fauci Award for Gullible People goes to all of the leaders in Arizona. Watch.
The Fauci Award for Gullible People.
Joining me now is the man who will be in charge of Arizona's elections. Adrian Fuentes was just elected Secretary of State of Arizona after defeating his opponent, Trump-backed election denier Mark Finchem. As the person who will be entrusted with the authority to run elections in the state very soon, how do you think this election went?
Well, I think it went well.
And I was a marshal at this last election. But prior to even having November 8th, when I went to training, as we were practicing on the tabulators, they didn't even work on that day. On election day, few minutes after the first person comes up to get their scan their ballots, misread, turn it over, misread. And that's how it happened for the whole entire day.
I was a poll worker. I worked at the Paradise Valley Community College 14-day center. So I was working for 14 days straight. And what I will say that I've seen is voters this cycle have in fact been disenfranchised. When they come in and they bring their ballot and they can't turn it in because there's a line to turn it in, or they can't vote because they're told they can't check in because they weren't able to properly check out at the previous polling center they were at, because we as poll workers were not taught how to check out voters at our poll centers.
Sure enough, the tabulator would not accept my ballot. I tried over and over for close to an hour, going from one tabulator to the other tabulator, turning it right side up, upside down, and every which way.
About half of the people that were ahead of me in line were unable to vote. Their ballot, one lady tried 20 times, different directions to get her ballot accepted.
In my particular site, they did at least initially try to rerun the drawer 3 ballots, but then at that point, and there was only 2 that ever, took from, I don't know, the hundreds that they were trying to rerun, they commingled the untabulated ballots of drawer 3 with the tabulated ballots. There is no way to ever sort that and track that. Those are lost votes. You cannot say that this went well.
Maricopa County needs a new hairstylist, number 1. Number 2, can you rewind that to that last Karen? Just rewind it and look at the woman behind her in the red.
I can't rewind.
Why?
Because we're not that technologically advanced. Oh wait, the woman behind her, what was she doing? She was the one that was going like this. Yeah, that's.
Was this a beatnik reading? A reading?
That's what they were doing. Yeah, Maricopa County needs some help. But when this went on for hours, it was 2 days, 4 hours of hearings of people speaking over and over again about what happened. And ultimately what happened was that in the Republican districts only, the machines all went down. They couldn't count. They couldn't tabulate. They couldn't, count the votes. Blah blah. The Democrat districts worked all very, very well. So that's like if Queens or Bronx and Manhattan and Brooklyn, all their machines worked, but Queens and Staten Island, the machines didn't work. So.
We need to bring back paper ballots. You go in, you click it down, your fingerprint goes on it, and everyone sits in a room and counts them together.
Well, they were paper ballots. You know what they did? They printed them when you got there. So when you got there and checked in, they printed your ballot out. I mean, what? So there was a line for printing ballots. It was crazy. At any rate, Carrie Lake is suing because what I neglected to say was that the Secretary of State, Katie Hobbs, who was the gubernatorial candidate, again, the Democrat running against Carrie Lake, actually oversaw this election. And she didn't recuse herself, not even from the count. So she certified her own election to governor. Are you freaking kidding me?
Sounds about right.
What the hell? We might as well be in Venezuela. What the hell is going on? So Carrie Lake is suing. Who said that? Bobby. Who said? Somebody said Carrie Lake. Yeah, Bobby said Lake is suing. Lake is suing, but I don't know. I don't think the Supreme Court has the ball, and I don't even know that the Supreme Court has the ability to even rule on this because it's a state situation. The states set the rules.
There's no more rules.
It's crazy stuff. Cynthia's sending positive energy to Carrie Lake. So are we all. It's a shit show. It certainly is, Lucille. It's a shit show, and we stand by and take it. I don't understand this. I mean, this is America, democracy, voting. We know how to do this crap. All of a sudden,
it's because everyone's high. It's because everyone's high.
Everyone's high. Yeah, you're right. Everyone's high. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Well, I mean, we're going to get to it a little later, but, things are erupting in China. All of a sudden, the Chinese people, the kids, are protesting, and they're calling Xi Jinping, and they're saying that he needs to step down because he's locked them all in their house with COVID. So finally, the Chinese people are protesting the Communist Party. But in America, we're voting for communism. What? I can't. Hey, Gloria's here. Hi, Gloria. I believe the state Supreme Court can. Yeah, state Supreme Court can. But I mean, I guess here comes the situation. I don't know that there's anything in their state constitution that will allow for another election, because that's ultimately what you have to have, right? The cure for this election is a second election, because this election didn't go off well. Now, that has to be written somewhere in their constitution, and I don't know that it is. And as a matter of fact, there are a couple of counties that are threatening not to certify their votes, and they're Republican counties. But if they don't certify their votes won't get tabulated into the total votes of the state, which would mean that the
smaller
Democrats will win on a lot of the state elections. So that's where things get sticky. They welded the doors shut. The fire department can't get in. People died in China. Yes, we're going to show a clip of that in a second. This is so great. It also shows Biden's complexity and his son's dealing with China. Yeah, it's true. This stuff going on in China. Well, anyway, we'll get to China in a minute. Right now, I want to get to the cancel culture. The cancel culture has reached up to the Pope. We have the Russian. I'm gonna show you. There's no sound here, so we can talk. So they're calling the Pope racist because he said that the Chechens and the Burats are being cruel to the Ukrainian people, and the Russian Foreign Ministry spokesman Maria Zakharova is calling him racist.
I really fucking hate this country. This world.
It's not this country.
World. I just said the world. The world. I hate it all.
It's Russia. You know, it's upset. They're upset that the Pope is calling people bad names because they're torturing the Ukrainian people and bombing them and freezing them out of their house. And yeah, so Maria Zakharova.
But it said it on her Telegram, which is even
on her
funnier.
Telegram, right? She put it out on her Telegram. I can't.
How can you take anybody seriously anymore?
And they're really going after Elon Musk after purchasing Twitter. That's right. So well, so the cancel culture is going after the Pope now. And I mean, I don't know. It really is. You're bombing the hell out of a country.
Imagine they put him on a jury. They investigate him like they crucified Trump now.
Oh, the Pope? Yeah, for being a racist?
They're going to impeach him.
Impeach the Pope. Oh, but I mean, come on. I mean, this is ridiculousness. But you know, this is what social media is doing.
Listen. And they repeat it.
Ukrainian people are actually torturing and killing Ukrainian people for real. Yes, I get that. But I'm sorry, Professor, but nobody's, crying racism. I mean, she's crying racism because he said that the Russians that are not of Russian, what word did he use? Russian, oh gosh. Like the people fighting for the Russians that are actually not, part of the Russian heritage, are being especially cruel.
When is this woke person going to wake up and cancel that race? When there's no more race.
Yeah.
Why can't we cancel that?
Well, I think we were almost there. Hello, Ralph Rubinek. I think we were almost there, but the best way to destroy a people is to keep them attacking.
We'll just identify as a blue person and we'll all be fine.
Blue person.
That's how the Smurfs came about.
Yeah, well, there you go. It's true. That's not a bad idea. We'll all become Smurfs. Okay, so Iranians are protesting in the street. Not what you think, though. They're protesting in support of the government, and they want the government to put to death all the people that are protesting against the government for killing a woman because she wasn't wearing her hijab correctly. Do you follow? Watch.
In Tehran, fists and voices raised, not against the regime, but in support, choreographed by a government stung by mass protests all week. This march called for those protesters to be executed. They're supported from abroad, she says, thugs and bad people. An army statement promised to confront these enemies, hinting at a crackdown similar to one 3 years ago that killed hundreds of protesters. Now there have been days of protests across the country, sparked by the death of a 22-year-old after she was arrested by Iran's so-called morality police. Mahsa Amini was accused of not wearing her hijab properly. Her death set off angry protests, remarkable since Iran's Ayatollahs have allowed no real dissent to their rigid Islamic rule in almost half a century. Now there's support around the world. Outcries and placards in Winnipeg tonight. An Iranian expat cutting her hair in protest in Istanbul. At the UN, Iran's president, Ebrahim Raisi, said the West should pay more attention to women's suffering in their own countries.
The Islamic Republic of Iran rejects some of the double standards of some governments vis-à-vis human rights.
After meeting with Raisi, the UN Secretary General delivered a warning.
We call on security forces to refrain from using unnecessary and disproportionate force.
An escalation that's all too possible, given the most serious threat to Iran's leadership in years. Sasha Petrusek, CBC News, Toronto.
We can't pay attention to women's rights here because we don't know who's a woman and who's a man anymore. So I'm never running for office. Here's your gold when I decide to run, people.
Sean Sexton, Papa Smurf, you got it, buddy. No problem. Oh my God. Socialists want to eliminate race and gender. No families. The government is the only family. I got it. This world is absolute insanity. Absolutely. The whole idea of racism is to redistribute property, resources, and wealth with the excuse of being scapegoated. Professor, right on the money. Yes, good one, Jen. That was a good one. I know that it was serious, but I'm sorry. You know, it's the truth. We don't know. We can't even define a woman in America. But the balls on that man to say that the West needs to take care of its own problems with women. Screw you!
Yeah, we have to take care of our own problems, which is everything.
I am so glad that America beat Iran in the World Cup. That was great. That was great. That was great. Screw you. Now, as somebody on my Facebook page said, too bad we didn't bet them the $400 million Obama sent them, but I don't know. All right, so Iran is protesting to kill the protesters. China is protesting Xi Jinping. And I think that this story is pretty freaking interesting because what are all the wokies going to say about this now, right? All those people that sit in their car by themselves with a mask, all those people that have been killing themselves, running over each other to go get the shot, watch.
Dozens of protests erupted on university campuses and in cities across China on Saturday in an unprecedented show of defiance and anger against the government's restrictive zero COVID policy. Many shouted for leader Xi Jinping and the Communist Party to step down. A deadly fire at an apartment building in the far western region of Xinjiang appears to be fueling the most recent anger as video emerged, which appeared to show lockdown measures delayed firefighters from reaching the victims. Now, in an op-ed published Sunday morning, Chinese state media calls the current COVID measures, quote, scientifically effective, saying the public should have full confidence in them. All right, let's get the latest from CNN's Beijing Bureau Chief Stephen Zhang. Stephen, we've seen isolated protests before, but do these seem different in terms of the size and the scale?
That's right. This wave of protests really triggered by that deadly Xinjiang fire you just mentioned, but also how the authorities there handled the aftermath. Because on one hand, they rejected claims that their COVID measures had anything to do with the firefighters' inability to reach the fire quickly. But on the other hand, after insisting for weeks and months that COVID situation in Xinjiang was so severe, lockdowns must be maintained, all of a sudden they announced this miraculous victory in their campaign and also a phased reopening. So I think all of that really serving as the latest and loudest wake-up call to a lot of people in terms of how increasingly ineffective, unscientific, and not to mention potentially dangerous this zero COVID policy has become. And also, of course, all the absurdities surrounding its enforcement. That's why we have seen people across this country really trying to take the matter into their own hands. Not only you see people in Xinjiang taking to the streets, demanding their freedom, clashing with security forces, but also even here in Beijing, for example, residents are seeing tearing down metal barriers or fences set up by local officials to seal them off in their residences.
It looks like New York last summer.
It's amazing.
Clearly, they couldn't put the fire out because their water wasn't reaching the building. If you saw,
if they had New York firefighters, you know damn well they would have reached the building. But again, so you've got, you know, this zero COVID kind of situation where they were, last year they were killing cats and dogs. They were beating them to death. They were taking them out of people's houses because they couldn't feed them because they didn't want people to go out and walk their dogs and cats. It was ridiculous. And
is that the reason?
Well,
or there are just a lot more Chinese restaurants opening up.
Oh, that's bad. Didn't delay the firefighters from helping them people in the building. It stopped them. Yes, it's true. Sean, at least we know we aren't the only country getting spoon-fed bullshit. Well, they're the king of bullshit. But that's the thing. They're communists. You expect that. But here in America, we're begging. We're begging for it, right?
Because they pay you.
That's right, because they own people.
Do you remember when de Blasio was giving away the free hamburger and fries? The same hamburger and fries that clogs your arteries, brings your salt levels up, makes your blood pressure high. Right. That's what he was giving away because he was catering to the underprivileged communities.
Right.
Because they were just,
But in China, they don't try and buy you off. In China, they threaten you bodily harm. But the great thing about those protests were, you know, think about it.
We're doing the same thing, bodily harm, but in a different and silent way.
Yeah. Well, how many people are in China, Professor? About 1 billion? Could you imagine if the 1 billion people of China rise up against the police in China?
How come they're all not coming here?
What's that?
How come they're all not coming here?
The Chinese? Well, they want they're bought up half of America. They're bought up all our farmland. There's plenty of them here. And they're still considered a third world country. That water identified as reaching the building.
It was like 10 feet away. Like, we got you.
Oh my God. What is water anyway? Does anybody have a definition of water? Oh, okay. Why can't I show this, Bobby? When Democrats tell you who they are, believe them. I agree. Digital dollar was quietly codified Wednesday, like China and India. Holy crap. Really? I didn't know that. That's not great. I mean, after all that stuff happened with FJX, they codified
what stuff?
Well, you know, the guy that took all the money from his company and gave it to the Democrats to help them win elections.
No,
it never happened, right? Never happened. I dreamt it. We all dreamt. We were all in a dream together. Okay, yeah. The psychology of totalitarianism.
You know what's so funny? I was watching the news this morning, and the flu is back in full effect. If you look at the CDC last year and the year before, there was no flu, not one case of the flu on their map. But now 500 and something thousand people hospitalized, or 53,000, and thousands are dead already.
Yeah. of the flu. Was that on an average
Like,
year?
I'm taking a break. Bye, Felicia. COVID, you take over for now.
Well, on an average year in America, 60 to 70,000 people die from the flu. But
how many people die of smoking?
I don't know.
Lung cancer. I think I want to say 300 and something thousand. I want to. I don't remember.
Heart disease is the #1 killer of people in America.
But yet, give them all burgers and fries. So they.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So they take a vaccine. So yeah, and that was the carrot for the vaccine. I mean, come on, it's crazy.
Something that's full of salt, full of cholesterol. Eat it up, but stay healthy and get this shot that we know nothing about.
Eat the burgers and get the shot. So I was wondering what the wokies, right, were going to say about the Chinese protests because, right, they love COVID. They love the masks. They love isolation. They love not going to work. Stay away, 6 feet, listen to Fauci, blah, blah, blah. So here you have a whole country who they love, right? Supposedly, they don't want communism. These people should be free. They want civil rights. They want human rights. So were they going to side with the people of China who were, protesting these lockdowns when they weren't necessary? Well, Taylor Lorenz of Washington Post answered my question for me. You remember Taylor Lorenz, Jennifer? She's the one that was all she outed the libs of TikTok, and she doxed her. She gave all her information, and then when somebody doxed Taylor Lorenz, she was crying because they were threatening to harm her. Well, anyway, here she is.
The gift that keeps on giving, the Taylor Lorenz of the Washington Post.
Couldn't resist this one.
Couldn't resist because it's also actually deeply revealing of like a true insanity that runs through a very overrepresentative group and yet powerful one that exists in American media. So Taylor has taken to Twitter to actually defend China's zero COVID policy with outright actual misinformation and just revealing what the end state for a lot of these branch Covidians really is. So let's put this up there on the screen. So she replies to a tweet that talks about a Chinese business consultant justifying zero COVID by saying that in 10 years, the West will be brought to its knees because of long COVID, which will decimate most of its labor force. She says, quote, TBH, he's right. Millions of people in the Western world are becoming permanently disabled and chronically ill with an incurable conditions that destroys their ability to live a normal life, and our leaders and majority of media are simply ignoring it and misleading people about the risk. Secondary, in a response officially to the zero COVID protests, here's what she says, quote, there is no, quote, lasting natural immunity to COVID. You can get COVID over and over and over again because there are so many endlessly evolving strains and antibodies wane. Also, choosing not to kill off millions of vulnerable people, as the U.S. is doing, isn't a critical flaw.
That she wants us all locked in the house. So I guess communism is for Taylor Lorenz. She thinks China's doing a bang-up job.
She should move there.
I wish I would buy her a plane ticket. I'll buy her a first-class plane ticket. If she would agree to go live in China, I will buy her a first-class plane ticket, and I'll pay her rent for a year.
She can't even handle getting threatened on the internet. Do you think that she'd be able to live there?
Well, why not? It's such a beautiful country. They're protecting their people, right? I mean, come on, these freaking wokies. Are you kidding me? They wouldn't last a minute in a communist country. I want to round them all up like what's his name did, the governor of Texas and Florida. Round them all up on a boat, send them on a cruise ship to Venezuela.
Send them all to California.
Cuba.
Go.
Well, they all live in California. That's the problem.
No, we have them here in New York.
The world is built with. All right, Ralph, you got to go smaller, babe. The world is built.
That's Joshua. Oh, that's Ralph. Okay,
that's Ralph. Totalitarian. The small Jewish community in Tehran on Thursday condemned the ongoing anti-regime protests in Iran, which broke out over the death of a young woman. Yes, we played that We played that before. If you buy her a ticket, I will help her back. Come on, we should get a GoFundMe page up. I know you do, Ralph. I know you post facts, but they take up the whole screen. Yeah, they take so just do them, smaller. Hey, Jerry, how are you? All right, so I think that we should start a GoFundMe page to ship out Taylor Lorenz, maybe Whoopi Goldberg.
Put it under my name.
Put it under all the people of The View.
Rosie O'Donnell said she was leaving. My son's faking sickness. So
I know. I don't think he's faking. He sounded sick to me today. While Jen's checking on her son, all of you, go to our Rumble page, please. Comment. We'll read the comments on the screen. Subscribe to Rumble. We're going to start showing on YouTube as soon as I can figure that out. Let's try and get this show out there. We're having a lot of fun with what's going on in the news, because God knows that it's too depressing to just watch it outright. Leftists love the worst hate on earth. This is true. All right. So
he's shaking me down for money. Sorry. So you can.
Well, as every good son should. Okay. So we got, who we have canceled. We're canceling the Pope. We're canceling. My sheet is so different than what I actually put down here. We're canceling the Iranian protesters. We're canceling Xi Jinping, but not really, according to Taylor Lorenz. But how about lobster? Whole Foods is canceling lobster. So if we have any Whole Foods shoppers out there, there will no longer be lobster in Whole Foods. Why? Because of the right whale. Watch this little clip. Maybe it'll explain it.
Whole Foods has decided to no longer sell lobsters caught in Maine after the Marine Stewardship Council and Seafood Watch's independent assessors suspended the U.S. Gulf of Maine lobster fishery certificate. The certification was pulled because of concerns over the gear used to fish for lobster and how they were a risk to the critically endangered North Atlantic right whales. The whales getting entangled in the gear is one of their biggest threats. There are about 340 right whales left and their numbers are dropping, even though during a recent assessment, no evidence was found that the Maine lobster fishery is responsible for interactions or entanglements of the right whales. The suspension will still go into effect on December 15th, 2022.
Who the fuck thought about that?
It's got to be a rival lobster company. It has to be, because even though we see that their nets are not doing any damage, they did an audit, they did everything, and they found that there's no damage to the right whale, but we're canceling your license.
Right-wing whale. No.
I think
Scoop that low left. We're gonna scoop that low.
The lefties will not have. They want to save the right whale. So I'm trying to figure out: are they pro-life?
You just can't afford the lobster.
That's it. They don't want anybody having lobster, because lobster is reserved for the elites, and only the elite can get them. They'll have them flown in from France or somewhere. I don't know where lobsters go. The professor can answer it. Thank you, Bobby.
They all drink their craft beers from boutique.
Sean says he goes to Whole Foods for the mac and cheese anyway.
I don't go there ever. I went there once and I had literally an anxiety attack. Have you ever been in there? It's like liberal central. It's like they just call them in. Women have armpit hair. It's really, really, really disgusting.
Nobody combs their hair.
No mustaches on women. Men with longer hair than their wives. You can't even get regular soap. Everything is like fucking lavender bullshit. Mashed potatoes have lavender in it. It's a horrible experience. I don't suggest anybody go there.
All right, well, Sean gets bells for this one. Yeah, Red Lobster versus Blue Lobster. It's all political right now. Stupid as ASF. Yeah. Well, it's so forget the lobster. Just letting everybody know, nobody's allowed to eat lobster. So done. It's if you're Italian and you make lobster for Christmas, you're screwed.
Or you can drive a Tesla. You know where that battery came from.
Yep, China.
You know how they get it, and it kills the environment.
You notice that Biden, the administration, did not condemn China for the lockdowns. Do you notice that the NBA, who is basically owned by China, was defending China and what was going on there? They're not, the Biden administration is not condemning what happened in Iran.
Listen, if you really think about it, it's all about money, because obviously we all know that anyway, but like, the Democrats, they push the vaccine on us, right? They hate it. What do they care if we die? If they have the vaccine, they're safe. If we don't have it, we're dead. They get their way. It's just to make cash.
Well, it's always to make cash. That's what it's always been about. Power and money.
I'm sure China has something backing them up for this stupidity.
Bobby's going to do lasagna for Christmas. All right.
Not
so
lobster, so that's good.
So no 7 fishes. Well, fortunately, in our family, we've never been rich enough to have lobster. We never did the lobster tails. We only did the shrimps and the galamad, and we did the scungili, the cod, the bacala, octopus. We do the anchovies. So all of the cheap fishes, the whiting. That's what we do in our family. So the lobster situation is not going to affect us.
No, I think we had lobster once, and we just.
But John Kerry and the other rich kids, I don't know. Bravo, Jen.
I was going to say shrimp. He beat me to it, your husband.
Shrimp. No, shrimp. Shrimp is not a fish. When we were really poor,
and frab. Shrimp and frab.
Shrimp and frab, right? That's right. We still do the frab, the imitation crab meat, but not the shrimp, which is basically the same thing, only it's molded into the shape of a shrimp.
And I wonder why we only have 10 viewers every week. I mean, come on.
This is important stuff. This is the Italian, stuff. People need to know about Italians and what we do and how we handle ourselves. It's very, very important. Okay. So Elon Musk is threatening to release the information about the cover-up for the Hunter Biden story. So when he bought the company and he dug into,
I was just trying to pay himself back for what he spent. He's trying to keep his mouth shut. He's thinking of anything. Here's a blue check, $5.99.
$8.
I'm gonna sell all your information. What do you got?
Oh, that's good. I never thought of that, Jen. Yeah, he's looking for a bribe. Yeah, well, he's looking. He's got them by the short hairs because apparently he found out why the Biden story and others have been covered up. But I wanted to show everybody what MSNBC has to say about Elon Musk. This one is fantastic. This guy has never done anything but open his big fat yap, and he's calling Elon Musk stupid. Watch this.
MSNBC host Mehdi Hassan had this to say about Elon Musk's Twitter takeover. Let's listen.
I mean, it's easy in American discourse to talk simplistically about the far left and the far right as two equally dangerous fringe blocks. Elon Musk has done it plenty of times just in the past week. But here's the difference. America's far left wants to give us free healthcare and free childcare. America's far right wants to give us white supremacy and no democracy. And this asymmetrical polarization of US politics would be laughable if it weren't so horrifying. We are living through an unspeakably dangerous moment. The pro-QAnon, pro-neo-Nazi faction of the Republican Party is poised to expand dramatically come the midterms. We're just 2 years away from Donald Trump very possibly re-seizing executive power. If that happens, we may look back on this past week as a pivotal moment, when a petulant and not so bright billionaire casually bought one of the world's most influential messaging machines and just handed it to the far right.
Musk responded back, quote, same org that covered up Hunter Biden laptop story, had Harvey Weinstein story early and killed it, and built Matt Lauer his rape office. Lovely people.
If they think Twitter is the most influential thing, and people believe it.
That's their universe.
Yeah.
It's their universe.
Twitter says it. It's true.
It's true.
As long as the fact checkers say it's true.
As long as I can have my blue check mark, I'm a real person. Otherwise, I must be a bot. Yeah. I mean, they're losing their freaking mind over the fact that what was supposed to be the town hall for free speech and for people to exercise their free speech and their opinions is now going to be a platform for free speech.
The Constitution doesn't have a clause that says as long as fact checker says it's true, you have the right to
right. And you know, everything is hate speech. But I love how he starts with the left wants to give you health care and child care, and the right wants to give you, what did he say? White supremacy and take away democracy. Now let's go back to the first story in Arizona. That's a Democrat that was in control of that election, and a Democrat who won, who is succeeding her as Secretary of State. That doesn't sound like democracy to me. Taylor Lorenz, Democrat. She thinks China's right for locking people in their house and creating concentration camps. Democrats can't define a woman. What?
Well, we can't define one either. But no.
We can't define lady, but we can define woman. Good.
I'm just kidding. I love all people. What I was going to say is, how come like the people like in Virginia whose families were killed in this, like the supermarket, and how these kids were online for months and years saying they have guns and they're going to kill people and putting notes up, they never got canceled out. If you say I like Trump, you get canceled out. Mm-hmm. That's, you know, anything you put up about Trump gets fact checked and you get automatically put in Facebook jail. These kids were spewing hate, racism, and everything in the book online on a platform that's supposed to fact check and keep everything true. Mm-hmm. So how come they can't sue the fact checkers? You know, those 8 and 9-year-old liberals that sit behind their computer fact checking all of your bullshit. How come they can't?
Well, they could. They could sue
Facebook.
They could sue, but again, you know, you're asking for a lockdown of the, you know, town center, town square, where, you know,
there is a lockdown of the town square.
Well, there is already, but you're trying to be logical, and you're living in a world of.
I'm just telling you, just sue.
Everybody should sue.
Just sue.
Gloria, back to the lobster story. Gloria says we will have lobster dealers on the corner, not drug dealers.
And they'll be arrested.
Psst, buddy, I got a 1.5 pounder in my cooler.
Can't find that at Whole Foods. You'll find some hairy armpits on Broads, but not lobster.
It's not threatening. He's going to. Oh, he's not threatening. Oh, Trump. Well, yeah. But did you hear the way he said it? Trump is going to seize power. He's going to say, no, he'll be elected president. You know, Biden was elected, but Trump will be seizing. Get the hell out of here. That's $8 for your blue check. That's $8 for your fact check. MSNBC giving out free buzz cuts when
Wait. Can I just tell you something? Did you notice that?
What?
He mentioned vaccines. Did you see the hide comment?
No, really?
So it popped up over Sean over his comment.
Oh, really? I didn't see
It said
that.
hide comment. Yeah.
It's there. Well, Facebook. Yeah, I said it. Listen, I know that.
Oh no, maybe it was over Ralph's.
What's Ralph saying? The Democrats formed the KKK. The Democrats facilitated Hitler. The Times awarded Hitler Man of the Year. And I didn't do this clip, but did you see Melissa Milano? She turned in her Tesla. She traded in her Tesla because she didn't like that Elon Musk owns Twitter. And she bought a Volkswagen EV. Volkswagen, the people in concentration camps had to make the Volkswagens. Volkswagen was a Nazi automobile. The Nazis created it. Idiot that she is. Ralph, how come you didn't bring that up, Ralph? Usually you're on top of that stuff. Oh my gosh. Well,
even Hollywood's killing each other anyway.
What's that?
They're all killing each other in Hollywood too. So
yeah, that's true. They're all.
Candace Cameron's done from doing.
Oh wait, hold on. Oh, we got more out. How did I'm slow in the comments. You need a face shield if that guy is talking to you. That's true. Section 203 prevents that. Call the insanity clause what you don't believe in. Don't say Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah. You may be sued. Look up Daniel Burrows. Oh, yes. Okay. And the comments are Quarkies? The comments are Quarkies.
Are you guys talking into your phone? Well, maybe
everybody's having a little drinky poo while they're watching us.
You know what I'm waiting for? Black Friday to be renamed. I cannot believe it's gone on this long. I'm in utter shock. I cannot believe it made it this far. Out of all the things, days. Why? Because it's cheaper?
Oh my God. That's true. Holy
the cheapest day of the year.
That's terrible.
I know. How has it not been renamed?
Oh my gosh. How come there's not protests in the street? Look up, died suddenly. It's a documentary on vaccines on Rumble. You know what? A country singer just died. He just got married and he died right after he said I do.
Hello. What did I do? I got AFib. Jimmy thought I was dead. I was great.
Yeah. Lefties always accuse others of what they perpetrate. Absolutely true. I was offended and refused to buy on that day, Angela Ricca. On what day? The B word day? I mean,
calling it Promotional Friday. That's it. And then somebody's going to get offended by that.
Well, oh my gosh, that was hysterical. BF. She won't even say it.
You want to come BF shopping with me? I already have a best friend. It's Black Friday.
Oh my God. Oh, I can't. The latest story is Donald Trump is anti-Semitic, yes, because he had dinner with.
But he already wrote that off. He's like, I didn't know he was coming. How do you not know someone showing up to your house?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the FBI. What's his name? Nunez. Yeah. I find it very interesting that a protected class is.
Can you imagine if
a white supremacist
with Kanye West as his vice president?
Say what? Donald Trump?
When Trump runs with Kanye West as his vice president.
Oh, I don't know. even me. I'm sorry.
Really? But is it?
It is. Oh my gosh. Oh, thanks, Ralph. Okay, Professor's got a whole book here too.
We have 6 minutes.
Is it act of the U.S. kind of stop America's economic gain? All right, I'm going to let you guys read that yourself.
Oh, they can read these comments on their own?
They can read it on their own.
Why do you read them out loud?
I read them out loud, A, to prove I can read, B, to prove I can pronounce all the words, and C, because people like to hear it. But when it gets to be that long,
do not read short.
It's too much to say. It's much easier to read. Kanye called it Jew It Up Friday. Oh my gosh. I can't look up Daniel Burrows. Right this minute? I mean, really? Right this minute?
You guys are very demanding.
I'm sorry, but I'm in the middle of doing a show. I'll look it up after the show. They would get my vote as long as they do it.
Ebony and Ivory take control of the country easily.
I'm gonna have a heart attack. How about, wasn't it Gold Digger? Wasn't that the other one? What I like? That would be
your grandson's favorite song.
Action speaks violins. How can Trump hate Jews when all his actions supported Jews?
Just so you know, his daughter's Jewish, his son-in-law is Jewish, his grandkids are Jewish.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous to call him anti-Semitic, but you know, they know that anything that they say will stick. Jen tried to censor me.
I'm like, don't say it, Leticia. You're in enough trouble in life.
I reverse kill, of course, I get Trump as a racist, anti-Semite. Well, because, Professor, we live in an alternate universe. We live in an alternate universe, you know, where good is bad and bad is good, and you can't say
woman has clothes.
But you can steal somebody's luggage as long as you're non-binary. Watch this.
Identify as owning this bag, and that is the scariest fucking thing I've ever seen.
That
lipstick, don't have a mustache. That is the rule of life.
Jennifer, my grandmother wore lipstick and had a mustache. Don't be racist.
She had hair too. So, let's do something. Put a wig on.
I mean, that lipstick did not go with that mustache. He's got to pick a better color than that. Are you kidding? Well, actually, he faces felony charges now. So I want to hear what you notice. I want you to know that only 2 news media outlets had that story. Only 2.
I need to find who that is because I'm going to spend the rest of my night on his Instagram. Them's Instagram.
They want them.
That's so selfish. You can be one or the other. You cannot be everybody. There's one. If you're a boy and you want to be a girl, you're a girl. If you want to be a girl and you want to be a boy, you're a boy. You cannot be everyone. It doesn't work that way. That is selfish, selfish, selfish. That should be your pronoun, selfish.
Isn't it? Their name is Sam Brinton. And if you look him up on the government website, he's the undersecretary for spent fuel. I don't know. He worked with a nuclear waste company for 10 years, a startup.
That's what happened to him.
I'm going to guess that's why he lost his hair. Their hair. Yeah, but so They stole a woman's Vera Bradley luggage with all the woman's clothes in it. But I guess that his excuse is he doesn't know what a woman is. So how can they press charges?
Dem has new clothes.
just pitchers and catchers. He is a hot mess. Oh my God, he really not for an April. First of all, they need a new lipstick color because that did
or
not
at least
go
match the mustache. So it looks like they're looking
a more nude would go. I would like.
And I have no problem with transgenders at all, as everyone knows, because some of my closest friends are. But that is ugly. Pronoun, ugly.
You got to see their Twitter page and their
the movie
Instagram.
It?
What?
Movie It? Just
Ooh, really? That's true. They look a little bit like that. That lipstick had to go. That was just bad. I mean, really. If you're, but they're non-binary. So I don't get it.
Non-binary means you don't identify as either.
As anything. Usually non-binary.
It's Morrissey, first off. So just call yourself Morrissey. Because if anyone Morrissey was the only person. Yeah, come on.
Non-binary blends in.
Lipstick, get rid of the mustache.
And put a little rouge on. I mean, they had good cheekbones and maybe a hat. Or bow,
just take the bow on.
I agree with Jen. Yeah, really. I mean, they. Hey, Mickey Petrini's is here. Hey, Mickey, what's going on in the world of country? What? Yeah, he's a little late. He is. We're on our last one, Mickey. Okay. So, at any rate, I don't know if Biden's administration has anything to say about it. Apparently, they have been on leave for a month while they figure out stuff. I don't know.
For a year and a half.
Is all I know is I want to know what happened in their childhood that caused that. That's probably not the dressing as a girl. I don't care about that. Why would you steal a woman's Vera Bradley bag? What kind of parents do you have that you would just go through the airport, take the tag off, and walk away with a Vera Bradley bag? And not think that there were cameras all over the place. What?
Because there's no punishment.
Well, the problem is they are undersecretary for spent nuclear energy. So they are working with explosive kind of crap that can really contaminate the whole entire world. We need better morals than stealing somebody's bag in the airport. I don't what's going on. She's doing something.
I didn't do it. Wasn't me.
I guess that
I don't know what you're talking about. It was that bald-headed guy.
One of these days, I'm gonna freaking have a heart attack right here.
Don't even ask why I have this in reach. Vera Schmira wasn't me.
Bobby, you're a cop. What kind of trauma in somebody's childhood would make them do that? Listen to me. You're the undersecretary for nuclear spent fuel.
You don't even know what spent fuel is.
Whatever that means.
It's probably like Vandalay Industries. It wouldn't even exist. Relax. Stop trying to make this okay. There's no rhyme or reason for this thing. Question the guys that smash into stores and steal all the Gucci and Louis Vuitton. They're really bad.
Oh, Vandalay Industries, I can't.
I work for Vandalay Industries.
Vandalay Industries. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
overtime? Do they kick us off?
No. Oh, we went overtime. Well,
I'm
that's
just
okay.
asking.
What's that?
I'm
No,
just
they don't
asking.
kick us off. They let us go as long as we want. I mean, we only have tens and tens.
Jokes on them.
They only shadow ban us. They don't care.
You
if
think
we
we
go
can
over
only
because
ruin the world for
they
one
know
hour?
only a few people get to see it. It's like the best kept secret.
Look, it's 8:00 and our numbers shot up to 14. Like it's over. We're gonna see
It
them.
must have been the Mandalay Industries comment. Oh, well. Joe Biden is not commenting on anything we talked about tonight because he's spending his time on Martha's Vineyard creeping on young girls. Watch. Apparently, he saw them looking at him through the window as he was walking down the street.
Vera Bradley bags are worth nothing.
What's that? Vera Bradley. Oh,
they sell them. They sell them at Target.
Okay, see, Bobby, I'm telling you
that. I said it's not worth like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, but a Vera Bradley bag. They're $9 at Target.
I'm telling you.
But obviously, we could see that the white dresses has no taste. So,
yeah.
If you've ever seen a Vera Bradley bag, because I just did on Google.
Well, I just think that, really, what can you be thinking? All eyes are on you. They made sure of it. They had big announcements because he was non-binary. He's the only one, and blah blah blah. Spent energy, this and that, and you take the tag off while they're watching you on camera, and you don't think that you're going to get caught. That's crazy stuff. Line dancing every Monday at Tottenville High School, 6 to 8 p.m. So anybody who wants a line dance, go join my friend Mickey Petrides, and he will teach you how to do it. He is the Staten Island Cowboy. We have everybody on this show. We have cops. We have the professor. We have Papa Smurf. We have Gloria. We have Angela and Vandalay Industries. Okay. A cheap handbag for a cheap woman. I want to be a woman.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah. Well, Bobby, first you have to define a woman, and then we'll let you be one. So we apparently are part of a secret society. Women we are, ladies. Okay. We went over by 7 minutes. And we managed to keep 12 viewers entertained.
And 7 of them are our immediate family.
Thank you, everybody. Remember, we need to know we've got 3 more shows till our.
Why are we going to the 50th and not the 52nd, which would be our year anniversary?
Our year is in January.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
January.
We're in November. We've got 4 weeks in December.
Days.
So
we missed it. We didn't miss a week.
This is 47.
But why wouldn't we do 1 year?
Oh, well, because 50 is the number. I mean,
no,
I understand.
1 year anniversary is the number.
You want the 1 year anniversary of our show to be
1 year anniversary of the shittiest podcast on earth. Yes.
Let's see how many viewers we
should try and get celebrity guests and really go.
Yeah, celebrity guests. Okay. All right. You guys put in the comments.
Levy. I could probably get Bob Levy.
Listen, honey, you are a pretty big celebrity. If they're not watching you, I'm telling you.
That says absolutely nothing because
it's what you are. If you'd share the freaking event when I created, and if you talk about it a little bit on TikTok, and if you promote us a little bit, maybe we'd get.
Fine. I just thought my celebrity status would just.
You just wanted to see how it was going to go before you decided to make a big deal of it.
Well, it's going like shit, and you want me to promote it.
I mean, okay. I don't know. The shows are pretty good.
You know what?
My voice to text is messing up. Oh, okay. All right. He is a wannabe woman, not I.
Lizzie, you look like more of a woman than that guy ever would. You have hair. I'm kidding. I didn't mean it in an offensive way. You're actually prettier.
Oh shit! Oh,
it's not a bad thing.
No, they're working. Professor, they're working. Have a great night, ladies. See you next time. See everybody next week. We're all way over. Love you all. Be good.
Bye.